Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Kaylee Grows. And today I have a couple of plants. I guess I shouldn't say a couple of plants. I have a lot of plants that I need to clean. I clean my plants every couple of months. I treat them with some pest prevention and things like that. So it's just that time that I'm going to do it. I like to break up all of my plants into like the type of plants and clean them from there. So I guess without further ado, I'm going to start cleaning my plants. But the first round of plants that I have is alocasia. I do only have 3 alocasias right now, and one of them is literally just a nub. My alocasia Jacqueline is literally just a nub. So maybe someday I will get another leaf out of it. Actually, I have another alocasia. 1 second. What are you doing? What? You're sorting this one. All right, now I have all of my alocasias, except for the Jacqueline. But pretty much what I do when I clean my plants is I have a mix of neem oil, dish soap, and just water and some alcohol in here to let it dry a little bit. And then afterwards I will spray down with some Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew. And then for the plants that I have in soil, I'm going to be adding some systemic granules as well, just to prevent some insects that are going on. I haven't seen really any pests on any of my plants, so knock on wood. But this is just preventative. So with that being said, I'm gonna get started. First, I have my fry deck. This one I just moved into some semi-hydro, and it's still getting used to it. The leaves are a little bit droopy, so hopefully a little bit happier in there at some point, but we will see. And then I'm going to be putting them just off camera over here to dry. Next is my alocasia mela. And last but definitely not least is my alocasia stingray. I don't know if you guys can see, but she has been giving me some pups. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little tiny baby plants that are coming out of it, which is really, really exciting. I hope that my large plant continues to grow, that I don't lose her and only have babies, but we'll see. Pretty exciting and very interesting. I've never had this happen before with an alocasia, but I'm having a lot of luck with my alocasias here in Texas, so I hope that it keeps going this way. All right, and that is it for my alocasias. All right, so the next type of plant that I'm going to be going through is Hoyas. Hoyas are my favorite genus. So I have a ton of them. They are my absolute favorite, and I'm going to have to do it in 2 rounds to go through all of my Hoyas, just because I don't have the space in here to do all of them all at once. So this is my first round. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sitting here right now, and I have more. So with that being said, first I have my Hoya carnosa. This is just the regular jade one. She is, however, a little bit bleached from where I have her sitting in the window right now, which is kind of unfortunate, but she seems pretty okay. She's nice and solid. I do have 2 tiny little leaves coming out, which is awesome, but I'm very excited for her, and let's get her cleaned. Okay, next I have my Hoya globulosa, and I thought this thing hasn't grown in forever, but I just picked it up to clean, and I have 2 tiny new leaves going on in here, and another little growth point. So I'm so excited that she's finally accustomed to where I have her, and she can keep growing. And whenever I have new leaves coming in, I usually will avoid cleaning those. I'll spray them with the Captain Jacks, but I don't like to really touch them too much because usually they're very, very fragile. So I don't want to accidentally like knock one of them off. So I am not wiping down those 2 brand new leaves. Okay, next I have my Hoya carrii. This is my sweetheart plant, and I literally can't believe I even have this plant. I had this as just like a Hoya heart for a very long time, and she's grown 2 new plants out of here, and this leaf up here is brand new. I can't believe that she's actually growing. I really should up pot it, but I just haven't had the time and I haven't thought about it. So she's just in this little tiny pot for now, but she's doing well, she's growing. However, my leaves are not like the perfect heart shape, but that's fine. I still think it's really interesting. That's 3. The next one that I have is a Hoya rotundiflora. This one is just really interesting looking. I like that it's almost like square-shaped leaves. I have gotten 2 new leaves in the past month, so I'm really hoping that she continues growing for me. Just a little guy. That's 4. The next one I'm not really going to be like wiping down completely because the leaves are just so tiny, but this is a Hoya curtisii, and this one is just growing a ton for me. She's so long. I have a bunch of tiny new leaves on here. I really would love to get this one to hang, but I just don't have a place for it to hang right now. I need to get like a new hanger for her, but she's just so interesting and I love her. The next Hoya that I have is my Hoya calistophylla. She's beautiful. She's so cute. I haven't gotten any new leaves from her in a long time, but I still think she's adorable. That's 6. Next is my Hoya retusa. This is another one that I can't really wipe down just because the leaves are so tiny, but I love how crazy this plant is. It's all over the place. I can't even believe that this is a Hoya just because it's so interesting. But I have some really nice long leaves here, and she's just so cool. And that's 7. Ooh, this one's leaking all over the place. This is my Hoya Chelsea. I did buy this plant for my birthday this year. I have not gotten any new leaves or anything. I actually really should repot her. I'm thinking about repotting a few plants either later today or another day this week. So this is going to be one of the plants that I do that with because I have not repotted her since I got her, and she does not hold on to her moisture very well in this soil mix. But I might as well treat her. I think I might actually be getting ants from this plant, so I am going to be still adding the systemic to the soil, even though I am going to be repotting her. Hopefully get rid of those ants. I don't know if it's this one, but this is the newest plant that I've had in there. I didn't see ants before I put it in my cabinet, but still. So I'm still going to be just in case. That's 8. Next, I have a, why can't I think of this? Hoya compacta. This is the variegated version, and she has actually given me a couple of new leaves a couple of new leaves in the past couple of weeks, which is awesome. So I want to make sure that I keep her nice and clean, and she's just adorable. And I have her in this pot that I colored as a kid. And that's 9. And then last but not least for this round of Hoyas is my Hoya latifolia, and this one has been popping off. So I've gotten these 2 new leaves down here at the end of this vine. I also have 2 new leaves that are closer to the base over here. I also believe this leaf is new. She's just doing so well right now, and she's so happy. So hopefully a good clean will keep her nice and happy. That's 10. So I'm going to put those alocasias back, get another round of Hoyas, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I have another 7 Hoyas, and these ones are, for the most part, slightly bigger. And I have one that's sitting on the ground right here next to me, so I'm actually going to do this one first. This is my black margin Hoya. And this one actually does have mealybugs. I only see them on this tendril here, which is awesome. But because of that, I'm going to be extra careful and clean all of these leaves. I'm also going to be doing it first, so then I can wash my hands in between, and I can put this right back before I come and do the rest of them, so it's around them as little as possible. But I have had issues with mealybugs with this plant. I feel like it almost constantly has mealybugs, so this is not a first time thing, unfortunately, but I know how to treat it. So now that she's out of the way, I'm going to do my Hoya compacta, and I am so excited to announce that she has a new leaf. It's tiny. I like can't even show it to you because it's like tucked way up inside the other leaves. But this plant never grows for me, so hopefully she's finally happy. And again, hopefully I can keep her clean and pest-free so that she continues to grow for me. Okay, next I have this Hoya shepherdii, which is absolutely crazy. She is wild. I can't believe how happy this plant is. It's growing so much. Like, I can't even point out which leaves are new because she's just constantly growing new leaves now. I now have new vines coming out that I don't even know where they're coming from. It is absolutely crazy. I love this plant so much. I love plants that are just like doing their own thing and they're wild. So I'm so happy that this one is so happy. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep her clean so that she continues to stay happy. Okay, so my memory card filled on that one. But next I have my Hoya polyneura. This one like used to grow a ton for me and then just suddenly she stopped. So I don't really know why, but again, I want to keep her nice and happy. I think she's beautiful, and hopefully, maybe with a nice clean, she'll do a little bit better. Next, I have my Hoya waiitii. This one also has been so happy here in Texas. I love how like stout this one is. It's really short, so all the leaves are really, really close together, which I find super interesting. And I just love her. So again, let's keep her clean. Okay, the next one that I have is not looking super great. This is my Hoya Crimson Queen. This one did bloom for me not that long ago, but I've gotten absolutely nothing from her since. I'm actually thinking about cutting her back and seeing if focusing her energy on her current leaves and this smaller plant will help her a little bit more. She does have a lot of dog hair on her as well, so maybe a good clean might help. But she has not been very happy since moving to Texas. And then last but not least for my Hoyas is my Hoya Crimson Princess. And this one I thought was doing really badly. She bleached a whole lot, but just suddenly she started putting off a bunch of leaves. So maybe something similar will happen to my Crimson Queen, but we will see. And hopefully she will continue growing for me. Hopefully the nice variegated leaves as well. Okay, so that is all of my Hoyas. I'm actually thinking about doing an updated Hoya tour. I did one about a year ago, so I'm thinking about doing an updated one and just going through my plant collection a little bit more by detail. So let me know if you would be interested in that. But yeah, so that's it for my Hoyas. I'm going to put away that first set of Hoyas and go grab another genus. I'm just gonna be blocked by this one, it's fine. But the next type of plant that I'm going to be cleaning is my anthuriums. So I only have 3 anthuriums. I really want to try more, but I don't have the money to do that right now, so we will see. I'm going to start with this big guy because it's just in the way. So this is my Anthurium veitchii, or my king anthurium. It is getting really, really big. I actually am probably going to have to take it out of my greenhouse cabinet soon. And I haven't fully decided where I'm gonna put it yet. I would love it if I could get my leaves to grow down more. It's facing the grow lights right now, so I would love it if I could get it to like face out. But that will be a later subject. But I think it's pretty fun. I think it's really interesting. It's gotten really big since I bought it. Right, so that is, oh, actually I didn't finish it, goodness gracious. I'm so excited. That is my veitchii. All right, and then I have two that are called strap leaf anthuriums. This one is my vitirifolium. So this one kind of grows more in like a waterfall shape. So this one I actually got first, and that's because I thought it was the pilidifolium. Pilidifolium? I can't remember which one's which one is the actual name, which is this one over here. But I still think this one's really, really interesting. The only downside is that it falls over a lot because it's just heavy. So it's in a very light mix right now. So I think I just need to put it in a heavier pot. And then maybe even semi-hydro to keep it a little bit heavier. But she's growing so well for me right now. I don't want to change it too much. But again, I am going to be repotting a couple of plants pretty soon. I finally got some soil in, so I am pretty much ready to do that. I just need to gain the energy to repot a lot of my plants. I am going out of town again in like a week from now, so I am going to be filming. I wanted to film a second video today, but this video is taking a very long time and I am nowhere near done. So we'll see how I feel in a little bit. See if I do want to do some repotting or anything else, but vitirifolium. Next is my pilidifolium, but this one, I love how long these leaves are. This one I have growing in my window in my living room, and it just like trails and it's beautiful. And I just think it's so interesting the way that it grows. So I just love these strappy anthuriums. I do want to get a more like standard, like heart-shaped one. I haven't decided which one yet because I don't know anthuriums super well. But I have some really good humidity in my house now that I live in Texas. So hopefully I can get them to grow a little bit more. But again, I don't have the money for any more anthuriums just yet. So we will see. Maybe someday if I make some money on YouTube. Subscribe if you can. I would love it because I just need to hit 1,000 subscribers. So we'll see. But yeah. That's it for anthuriums. I don't have that many, so I'm going to put away that last set of Woyas and grab another genus. Okay. So I don't really know how to film this one. My monsteras are huge. These are the biggest plants that I have. So I'm going to start with my Monstera Thai Constellation because I think this one is the most in the way. But yeah. She is absolutely massive, doing so great. So you might not be able to see my face for a little bit, but you will be able to hear me. But my Thai, unfortunately, when I first brought her here, she did burn. And I still do have those burnt leaves on there because I can't bring myself to cut them off. Even though they're kind of unsightly, but I love this plant so much, I just like can't get myself to do it. Because even though they're burnt, they're still beautiful. But I'm also so excited. I don't know if you can see this. This leaf right here has secondary fenestrations, and I am absolutely psyched. It has not given me any inkling of giving any new leaves, but she tends to grow about one new leaf a month at this point. So hopefully I'll be getting another one soon, and hopefully I'll be getting even more secondary fenestrations, which would be absolutely awesome. But she's just gorgeous. I didn't think I was gonna like this plant as much as I did, but she's growing better than my original Monstera was, and it's just been making me so super happy. I probably need to uppot her sometime soon, but we will see. But with that being said, I'm gonna move her behind me over here. Look, you can see my face. But next I have my Monstera Adansonii. This one's not doing the best. I don't know what it is, but she's just like not fully unfurling. A lot of my leaves are like really curled, and they're just not fully becoming a leaf, if that makes any sense. I don't know if it's getting too much light, not enough humidity, or what. She lives in my bedroom window, and I've had this plant for a while, and I've never had this specific issue. So I don't really know how to deal with it. I don't know if I just kind of need to let it run its course, because it's like multiple different spots on this plant that are doing it, so I don't really know. But very interesting. I love this plant. I'm thinking maybe she's getting just a little bit too much light, so maybe I need to move her, but she's all done. And then next, I have my Esqueleto, and she's doing so well. I have another new like growth point up here. She did miss, I think, 2 growth points while growing, so I'm not quite sure why that is. I don't know if, again, if it's a lighting issue, if it's a humidity issue, or what. But I just find this plant so interesting, and I love how big the fenestrations are. Like, these leaves are huge, and the holes are huge as well. And this leaf up here is the first one that it's given me since I've gotten the plant. So hopefully it has adjusted to its environment, and hopefully it can grow some more, because I would love it if I could get this plant nice and big. I'm thinking maybe I might need to cut it, but I don't know. I was thinking about cutting it down here and like rerooting it and repotting it in here, but we will see. I'm not really sure what to do with her just yet. I have a little frog that stays on the edge and it falls off all the time. Okay, next I have this big guy. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. This plant is massive. Okay. So, this is my Monstera deliciosa. I think I'm gonna have to get on my knees for this one. Yeah, definitely. But I did a video a couple weeks back of me repotting this, and I put my old Monstera in with my new Monstera. The old Monstera has not really given me much of anything, but hopefully now that she's in with the other one, we'll see. But the new Monstera is doing so well, and this is the newest leaf that it's given me, and it's huge, and it has another new leaf coming out. So hopefully I continue getting some nice big leaves. That would be amazing. I think I just had one with bad genetics, unfortunately. I thought that it was me. I thought it was just me not giving it enough light. But even when I moved and I was giving it more light and better light, it just still wasn't doing well. So unfortunately, she just never really grew for me. I got like a couple of tiny fenestrations, but it really wasn't much. And she just never looked happy, always kind of sort of yellowed. And yeah, don't really know why. I've never heard of anyone having bad luck with a Monstera deliciosa before, like bad genetics, just the straight up green one. I've heard about it with like ties or albos or something like that, but never just the straight up green ones, so not quite sure. But the new one is doing absolutely amazing, and that one was $10 at the grocery store, so I'm pretty happy about that. However, I do need to add more soil into this one, so this one will probably be part of that repotting video someday soon as well. But that is it for my Monsteras. I'm going to put all my Anthuriums back and grab another set of plants. Okay, so it's a few hours later. My mic died. So, I'm back. Time to work on my plants. But this is my round of philodendrons. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 philodendrons that I'm going to be cleaning. Yeah, so I have my philodendron Brazil right here. This is my only like actual trailing philodendron right now. I've had this for a really long time. I actually, it came with like really big leaves, and it like very quickly like completely died back. I was growing it in an area that did not have enough light. This was like very early on in my plant journey. So I didn't really know what I was doing. So it did die back, and I did the hairpin trick, and it has very slowly come back. I did cut it back when I moved from Tennessee, so it is still kind of regrowing, but it seems to be doing really, really well at this point. She seems very happy, so I'm hoping that she stays that way. But that's one. Okay, the next one's kind of sad. This is my philodendron verrucosum. It's like barely alive. Yeah. I'm trying so hard with this plant, and it just does not want to grow for me. It does not want to live. It does not want to survive. I'm trying, and it just will not do it. I have it in semi-hydro right now, so I don't know if it's actually like getting used to the semi-hydro, but I don't know. It's just, I can't get it to grow, unfortunately. I really want it to. I think it's so cute. I want a huge one, but it's not doing anything for me. It's just getting worse. But we will see. We will see. Unfortunate. Next, I have my philodendron Florida Ghost Mint. I have learned that this is tissue culture, so it's kind of like all squished together into one like mega plant. I tried to separate it back a couple months ago. I do have a video of me doing that, and it just is all one plant. So, not a problem that it's tissue culture. I don't really care if it's tissue culture or cutting or whatever. I still love this plant. I don't really know what the difference, like I know the difference of like how they're grown, but I don't really know why one is better than the other. I think it's more just preference rather than anything. But I'm also not like a die-hard collector that like all of that really matters. But yeah, I'm thinking about cutting off this vine eventually and growing that one as a separate plant just because it looks so good and so big, while the rest back here is very small. But I haven't fully decided on that. I'm too nervous to cut it because it looks so nice and I don't want to lose what I have going for me currently. But I love this plant. I think it's so interesting and it's really, really cool. Okay, so next is my philodendron contortum. So this is my like fern leaf philodendron. It's gonna be kind of hard to wipe these leaves down. I have not had this one very long. I got it when I moved to Texas and it looks beautiful. It's gotten really big. I know that this is one that likes to climb and I'm not really like a moss pole girly. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Maybe I can keep moss pole moist here in Texas, but I'm too forgetful to do the maintenance on a moss pole normally. So we'll see how she does. But I think she's just real cute. Very, very interesting plant. Looks nothing like any of my other plants. Okay, next is my fuzzy petiole philodendron. This one I absolutely love. I've done so much work on this plant, but again, this is one that wants to climb, and I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to climbers. I think I should probably get like a stake or like a trellis or something like that. I have a couple moss poles and everything, but I don't know how to do the maintenance on it, and I don't know, it's just like it wants to climb. Its leaves are getting smaller as it gets taller, and I'm trying my best, and she just looks okay. She doesn't look horrible, but definitely not as good as she can be. But I do love her. So interesting. Okay, next I have my philodendron scolniferum, which has gotten absolutely massive. It like barely wants to stand up now. I do have this long runner that's growing that I haven't gotten a leaf on in a while. Like I have a tiny little leaf that's growing, but I'm honestly thinking about cutting this one back and giving the cutting to a friend. I do have a friend at work who wants a piece, so I'm thinking about giving that to her. This one also really wants to climb, but I don't really have room for it to climb in my cabinet set up currently. So I would need to take it out of the cabinet, and that makes me nervous because it's doing so well in the cabinet, and I don't want it to like dry up or struggle with less light or anything like that. I don't know. I do have this room that I'm currently sitting in. I had other plans for it, but those aren't gonna happen anymore. So I'm kind of thinking about making this more of my greenhouse room. It is a south-facing window, but I have like an overhang, so like I get really, really bright light in here, but I don't get any direct sunlight. So I thought that might be nice, but I don't know. I don't really know what to do with it. I'm not used to my plants getting so big. I'm used to having little plants, so still kind of learning. But she looks beautiful. Like, look how big she is. Okay. Next, just to get this one out of the way, is my philodendron gloriosum. Absolutely massive, absolutely huge. I'm gonna face her towards me so that I can wipe her down. But I'm just so happy with how this one is looking. It's looking so, so good. It looks like she is gonna lose this leaf soon, unfortunately, which is fine. But the leaves that she's grown since being in Texas are just huge. My two newest leaves are these two down here. But I really thought this one, the newest one, was going to be all sorts of damage because I did have to help it unfurl, but there's only like one spot that's kind of sort of broken. So that's very, very nice. Oh boy, how do I reach this one? It's so far away. Oh, this is my favorite leaf. Love it. I can't wait to get this one even bigger. I love how huge this plant is. so cool, so interesting. Just look how beautiful she is. Especially this leaf all the way down here. This one right here is the newest leaf, but this one is the leaf before that. I'm just so obsessed with her. Okay, and then the last philodendron that I have is my regular green philodendron Florida. I don't know what to do with this, I don't want to break her. But this one, I'm just letting it grow as it is. This one, I know that they like to climb, but I am purposely growing this one the way that it is because I just like how wild she looks. I know I say that in like every video, but she's just so interesting. I love how she's growing. I'm actually getting another new leaf, which I'm very excited about. This plant is just so interesting. It grows in such a fun way. And I'm so happy about that. Okay, but that's all of my philodendrons. And now I'm gonna put away my monsteras finally. They've been dry for a few hours. But I'm gonna put those away and come back with another round of plants. Okay, so I forgot a couple philodendrons. I have my philodendron Melanochrysum. So this one I do have growing in water right now. She is ready to be potted up, so I'm probably gonna do that in the next video or two, because the roots are ready. They're starting to put off a couple, like trying to put off a leaf, but because it's just in water, it's struggling just a little bit. So yeah, I am still gonna clean it because it is definitely dusty. I do have a dog. You probably have seen him in the background. So I like to clean them even if they don't look like they need to be cleaned because I always get like dog hair and stuff on them. Plus you can still get pests even when it's in the water. This one I know I have to have climbing, but again, please help. I'm begging you guys, please help me with this because I don't know what I'm doing with climbing plants. I'm so nervous to get them to climb. But next is my Billietier. She is literally busting out the bottom, and she's finally growing. Thank you to whoever commented that my Billy was getting too much sun, because pretty much immediately after I took her out of my greenhouse cabinet and put her a little bit farther away from the light, she has grown a new leaf. She's facing up, and I'm getting another new leaf. This is another new leaf coming in right here. So it's just so interesting. I am not an expert in any way. I have this YouTube channel just to share my plants with people and to give my little bit of a creative outlook, or outlet, I mean. So yeah. I love getting help from you guys. All right, so she's gonna go down over here. And then this one isn't technically a philodendron, but it is a thaumatophyllum, and it doesn't really fit anywhere else in my plant collection, so I thought I might as well put it with philodendrons. But this is my Thaumatophyllum sprucianum, and this is one of my all-time favorite plants. I just think it's so interesting, and it's just so unique, and I love it. So each one of these like leaf clusters is its own leaf, and it's just so interesting. I don't understand, like I understand, but I don't understand why the plant does this in like one leaf, but it's a cluster. Just so interesting. I've had this plant for a while. This one was actually like a plant that I really, really wanted, but I was too nervous to buy it, and I just like said screw it, and I got it, and I'm so happy I did, because it has been one of my favorites ever since, and I just love it. I was at a brewery and they were doing like a plant show, and one of my friends bought, I can't even remember if it was the same plant or a different plant, but she got the pot and the plant, and I got this pot, and I just love it. I think it's so interesting, and I'm so happy I bought it. Okay, all right, so now I'm actually done with my philodendrons. So now I can move on to another genus. Promise this time. Promise I'm moving on to another genus. Okay, so next I have all my pothos, which are a lot. But without further ado, the first one that I have is my neon pothos. This one I desperately need to repot. The soil that it's in is hydrophobic. I cannot get it to keep any moisture in, but I just haven't had the time or energy to repot it. I have a bunch of plants that I want to repot and I just haven't done it. I really want to though, so maybe I'll get myself to do it this afternoon. I don't know, we will see. But yeah, I'm so happy that I got, hello. So happy that I got another neon pothos. I love this plant. I think it's beautiful, and yeah, very small right now. She'll grow eventually, but she's real cute. Next, I have my skeleton key. So my skeleton key is getting so long. I love the way it looks, even without like the actual skeleton key shape. I'm not growing it up on a pole, so it's not going to grow that shape, but I love just like the shape of the small leaves when it's like this. This is one that I completely cut back when I thought that it was dying, and I raised it in a prop box for a while, and here she is. So, she's doing beautifully, doing really, really well in Texas. Again, I think I just have such good light in this apartment house. I don't know, I live in a duplex. There's two houses like connected to each other. But I get such good light here. All of my plants are so happy. And I have very good humidity in the house where it's not so much that everything's molding, but it's enough that my plants are very, very happy. So I love it. And I'm so happy that my plants are happy. It just makes like my environment so comfortable. And I just love it. And every time I look at all my plants, they all just look so good. And I love them. Okay. Whoop. Next, this is another one that I desperately need to repot. If you guys watched my watering video, I have not had a chance to repot this one, and it's still like hanging out of its pot. It's like barely in here. It does not have much soil. This is my Snow Queen. So my, it's the, I don't know why I can't think of any words. But I think this plant is absolutely beautiful. And again, this one was doing really well before I dropped it and broke the pot. Lost most of the soil out of it. But I do need to repot this plant. It has like no soil. I need to water it so often. Its roots are like hanging out. And yeah, so this is another one on the list, but it just has not happened yet. I guess maybe I shouldn't be adding systemic to it. It's too late. It's already in there. Okay, next I have my giant pothos. It's like the variegated one. I don't know how this is considered a pothos. It looks more like a philodendron with the way that it's growing, but whatever. That's what it was marketed as on Etsy, so I'll believe it. And yeah, I'm excited to see how giant this giant pothos can get, because some of the leaves that it showed online were like huge. So we'll see. This is the newest leaf right here, and that's pretty big compared to what it started growing. But still not huge. We will see. I will continue nourishing it as long as I can. Beautiful. Okay, next, thank you so much for telling me this is an Enjoy. Pothos Enjoy. So that's what she is. I've been struggling with this plant, not like struggling, but I've been trying to figure out what kind of plant this is for so long. And because it'll grow a leaf and it looks like a pearls and jade, and then it'll grow another one and it looks like an enjoy, and then it grows another one and it looks like a pearls and jade. So thank you so much for finally telling me what kind of plant I have. I have been just wanting a second opinion for so long, and I'm so happy that I'm not crazy thinking that this is an enjoy when I got it as a pearls and jade. So thank you so much for commenting and helping me out with that answer. And I'm not doing like crazy deep cleans of any of these plants. I'm mostly just like wiping them down slightly and making sure that there's no pests. I actually look at my plants very often. Whenever I water them, I look at them very closely to see if there's any pests, and I will treat them at that time. Unless I have like a ton that have the same pest, like when all my Hoya had mealybugs for a while. But this is just a quick little maintenance, just making sure that I can wipe it down with some preventative. I know that it's not like perfect, but I have so many plants that if I did like a super deep clean of each one, it would take me days. I don't have the attention span for that. So this is what I do. Next, I have my Cebu Blue. This is the beefiest she has ever been since I've gotten her. I've had this plant for a couple of years, and when I got her, she got really long and was doing great, but then would only give me runners. So right before I moved down here, I cut her way back and then did the hairpin trick. And since I've moved to Texas, she's giving me so many random little growth points, and she's just gotten so like beefy on top. So I'm very excited for her to start to trail now that she's like good and healthy on top. So we will see. I think this plant is just beautiful. I love the like bluish sheen that she gives off. So gorgeous. Okay, this is a big one. This is my, I guess it's not a true pothos. I don't know. I mean, it's the same type of pothos as a couple other ones. But this is my Albo. And this one is also doing so well since I've moved. I actually didn't even realize that this vine over here was even growing. It was growing back behind my greenhouse cabinet, and it has like no leaves on it at all. There's exactly one leaf like way down here because it gets like no light back there, but it's growing, which is cool. So I think that's so interesting. I might actually move it to the other side of the cabinet so I can actually see it a little bit more. Because right now it's kind of growing behind my cabinet. I feel like I can't see her that much. I just want to be able to like enjoy her. Because this is one of my favorite plants. I love the like irrigation pattern that's on it. I think it's very interesting, and I just want to see her more. So I think I might actually move her. Maybe I'll move around my plants in general in a little bit. Now that I'm like very comfortable in my house and I know the lighting situation and everything, that might be fun. But I just love this plant. It's just so crazy and long. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to poke you with it. Okay. Next, I have my golden pothos, and she's doing like really well, but also not well at the same time. I think she's just struggling to get used to the amount of light that's here. I did have her growing in like relatively low light at my old house, and now she's in like a higher light situation. So she's growing a bunch of leaves, and I think the leaves that are yellowing and falling off are the old ones that I had in Tennessee. So it's funny because there's not a ton of irrigation on her at this point. But this is my golden pothos. Very interesting. For a second, I just looked up and I thought that it wasn't filming, and I got really nervous. But here's to hoping that a little bit of a clean helps her out. Who knows? Maybe she's just a little dusty. Maybe she's not getting a ton of sun. Maybe she's not getting enough sun. Who knows? But golden pothos. Next I have my jade pothos. This one is doing the same thing kind of, but like not as much. This one for the most part is very happy. It is trailing on this side over here. However, the thing that I have her sitting in has like a bigger knot on the bottom, so it's kind of hard to have it sit. I love this plant. This is one of the first plants I ever had. Got it as a cutting from the old aquarium that I worked at. I almost killed it at one point in North Carolina. Here she is, she's back, getting big again. And I'm so happy that I still have her. I would have cried and cried and cried if she didn't work out, because I love this plant. It's just the first plant in my plant journey. I need her to stay around. All right, so that is all my pothos. I believe I only have one more type of plant that I'm going to be cleaning today, and then I'll be done. So I'm gonna put away all my philodendrons, all like 1,000 of them that are sitting over here, and come back with other plants. Yes. Okay. This is my last 2 plants that I'm doing. My 2 snake plants that I own. I have over here, I have my smaller one. This is my whalefin snake plant. It has given me this beautiful, huge leaf since I have been here. I did just recently move her a little bit closer to the light, so I'm hoping maybe she'll grow some more. We'll see. I know that these are like very, very, very slow growing plants, but I just think they're so interesting. I love how huge and wide the leaves are, and I'm really hoping to continue stimulating that growth. Okay, now for this monster. This one I also have to get up on my knees. This is just my standard snake plant. I don't even know what kind they're considered. But this has been in my family for like years. My mom got it a very long time ago, like I'm 29, so like 27 years ago. And she actually separated it into multiple plants and gave me like half of it. And since I've had it, it's grown a ton, which is so interesting. And I just love it. I love the like that my mom has a piece of it and I have another piece of it. I love that about it, and I also just love the colors of it, and I love how wide she is. So interesting. I love snake plants. I love how just like big they get. They're slow growing, they're easy. Love them. I think they're so cool. Okay. But whew, I'm exhausted. That was a lot of plants. But that's all that I have for you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you guys like me, subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I hope to see you guys again on the next one.